We have some comment cards in the back that are, we're hoping that you'll put some comments on. Anything that you like, dislike, or any comments at all in the back. We're not recording this meeting, so the voice comments really, you have two of your commissioners here, and I'll introduce James in just a second. We'll hear them, but it would be better if we had them written so that we can take them and share them with the other commissioners, and at the hearing, we'll have those when we do the hearing. So, not that we won't listen, or if you have voice comments, we'll take them, but I think it would be better for all purposes that we get them written down and recorded. First, I'm Todd Tondy. I'm the chairman of the board of the county commissioners. We also have Jay Nelson, who is also a county commissioner. And we hired back when, it's been about 8 months ago, it seems like.
It's a year, over a year.
Over a year, okay. Time flies here. We went out to put an RFP out for a master plan architects, and we got 5 or 6 or 7 different firms submit for qualifications, and the board chose NAC Architect, which Steve McNutt is representing tonight. And I think we chose well, and hopefully you'll see that through the presentation. We have several of public and county officials here tonight. I know we have our administrative judge here with us tonight too, Judge Mitchell, and we have several other judges and other people. So please, I'm going to turn it over to Steve and let him go through the PowerPoint and go through, and then we'll take questions or anything afterwards.
Thank you, Todd. This master planning effort took the better part of 8 months. I guess we really got our feet underneath us in about October of last year, and then just started gathering information, plowing through all of the what-ifs and opportunities, meeting with the commissioners several times to sort of test drive some of the directions and outcomes that were taking shape. And then finally, in probably about June, things started to gel, and we formulated and published this book, which is the master plan, and is available online at the county website. So, but tonight we will just give you a kind of a quick overview, synopsis of all of that time and effort, and show the first slide. And essentially, we're trying to build a framework for future growth and development, and sort of look in a very kind of coherent, cohesive way at all of the problems that involve the physical building condition of the spaces that you have, and the functional operation issues that may be going on in some of those buildings. And by the way, we studied all of the non-jail facilities. The jail has its kind of own independent master plan that is sort of running in parallel to this, and we looked at the non-jail facilities, and that would be 4 different sites and 8 different buildings and 19 different departments that are housed in those buildings. So, but our master plan is designed to coordinate those growth and development needs within the realm of those buildings and departments that I just discussed, and resolve the current facility problems that are cropping up here. Next slide. And I want to kind of take you on a tour of those buildings and give you an overview sense of what our findings are and the problems that we have tried to address in this master plan, suggested solutions. But first is the Juvenile Justice Center, and it's off-site, off of this campus, as you know, about 4 or 5 blocks away. It is not especially energy efficient as a historic building. It's not terrible, but it's not highly energy efficient. It's a cramped site, and because of the cramped site, it generates expensive off-site parking, which draws from county maintenance and operations. It has some modern functions that have been not ideally fit into what its original design were, but its biggest problem is its remote location, and the fact that all of the interface that it has with the prosecutor and the defender and the clerks and probation and other justice folks have to sort of traffic back and forth between this site and that site, and you'll see at the end of this that the county auditor kind of tried to get its arms around all of those inefficiencies and calculated that there's up close $427,000 spent every year just in kind of the shuttling and trafficking back and forth. Those efficiency costs could be recovered in, hopefully, the master plan solution. The public defender building is a bit of a misfit building. It was originally designed as a pizza parlor and then converted to a real estate office. It's got a lot of high maintenance. The roof needs replacing. They're constantly repairing the heating and ventilating system there. It's not fully accessible for handicapped. One full level of its split level is not ADA accessible. The basement is off limits due to inadequate exiting. And the staff is literally wedged into every space possible there. And they've spilled over into corridor circulation spaces and converted those into office. If you've got a fatally flawed building, and candidly, I don't think that you have a fatally flawed building, but if there is one, this is probably the one that doesn't really warrant any further investment. Put some Band-Aids on it and live through while you have to use it. But it's not one that really you should try to keep or prolong or pour a bunch of money into. The Court Hold building is in the heart of the campus, right here. And what it does is accommodate prisoners who were offenders who were brought in from off-site and held and marched around into the various courtrooms. And it was a conversion of a demolished building shell and sort of a hodgepodge of old foundation and concrete block walls, framed walls, wood siding, new framework roof, and it provides secure prisoner arrival, but because it's freestanding in the middle of the campus, it generates exposed prisoner delivery to the courtrooms, and that's a security risk that is of some significant concern. Sometimes nicknamed the Jack Ruby Walkway as they take prisoners off to the various courtrooms. The courthouse has no growth pressures, but I mean, there are growth pressures, I'm sorry, but there is no room to expand. And, by state mandated statute, 2 added courtrooms, judges' spaces, support spaces, and staff support spaces are headed the way of Kootenai County. So some sort of physical accommodation of those needs to be accounted for in the master plan, and there just isn't physically room in this building to accomplish that. The next one is the Justice Building, and it's west of the courtroom, obviously. It has growth pressures as well, but also no room to expand. And again, those same needs present themselves. The 2 added courtrooms and judges. Where do you put them? Well, there isn't any place to put them here either. One of its biggest flaws in this particular building is that it has no elevator, and it forces all the traffic, both the ADA accessibility traffic and the bulk transfer of files, to the outside. And just by accident, late one fall, when I was taking pictures, there happened to be somebody with a shopping cart shuttling bulk files from one of the lower spaces around the outside of the building to the upstairs. There was no elevator to accommodate this need. The main administration building has its own kind of growth pressures, and by that what I mean is it was pretty full when it was originally built. People and departments were wedged into there, and it's been full to capacity over the many years. And what that has resulted in is elimination of sort of the accessory functions, meeting room spaces, employee lounges, odds and ends spaces, some of which aren't coming to mind right now, but all of those have been squeezed out and converted to employee occupancy spaces. And many of those are undersized. So it's a little bit problematic in that regard. It's also, it really wasn't designed with security in mind, and it was designed pre-9/11, of course. And since that, there have been things like bomb threats. There's been an assessment, too, that the Treasurer's Department happens to be positioned in a location at the east end of the building